Some men chase trends. Eli Broad created them. He was called unreasonable, unrelenting, even arrogant. But what if the world needs unreasonable people to push it forward? I'm Jim, and this is History Decoded. Today, we're diving into the life of Eli Broad, a man who didn't just build 2 Fortune 500 companies in 2 different industries, but also became one of the first billionaires to believe in modern art, before the rest of the world knew what to make of it. This is the story of how being unreasonable can make you unstoppable. Eli Broad was born in 1933 to Jewish immigrant parents in the Bronx. His father was a house painter, his mother a seamstress. The family didn't have much, but Broad had a sharp mind and a sharper tongue. He once said, "The reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt the world to himself." That wasn't just a quote, that was his life strategy. At 23, Broad co-founded Kaufman & Broad, a home-building company, with just $25,000. But this wasn't just any construction firm. Broad invented the concept of building and selling homes on credit, streamlining the entire process like an assembly line. Middle-class families could suddenly own homes in ways they never imagined. By 30, Broad was a millionaire, but he wasn't done. He later acquired a small insurance company and transformed it into SunAmerica, turning retirement savings into a financial engine. Incredibly, he built 2 Fortune 500 companies from scratch, one in real estate, one in finance. But Broad's empire wasn't limited to numbers. In the 1960s, while Wall Street was pouring money into oil, steel, and IBM, Broad was buying art. But not just any art, pop art. The weird stuff, the kind that made critics scoff. Key artists Eli Broad collected Jean-Michel Basquiat, one of the earliest major collectors of Basquiat's work. Andy Warhol owned many of Warhol's pieces, a central figure in the Broad collection. Jeff Koons, Broad was one of his earliest institutional supporters. Sherman, known for conceptual portraits, heavily featured in Broad's collection. Lichtenstein, pop art icon, well represented in the collection. Barbara Kruger collected her work early and helped institutionalize her status. Takashi Murakami helped bring global attention to Murakami's fusion of pop and traditional Japanese art. Kara Walker collected her work and helped elevate Black contemporary voices. Ed Ruscha, a strong presence in Broad's holdings, foundational to the LA art scene. Christopher Wool, Damien Hirst, Mark Grotjahn, Glenn Ligon, other prominent names. Broad supported. Eli Broad wasn't just a billionaire. He was one of the most influential art patrons of the 20th and 21st centuries. He had an uncanny ability to spot genius early, becoming one of the first major collectors of Jean-Michel Basquiat, and a key supporter of artists like Andy Warhol, Jeff Koons, and Sherman. His collection reads like a who's who of contemporary art. Lichtenstein's bold pop art, Barbara Kruger's confrontational text pieces, Takashi Murakami's East meets West surrealism, and the deeply powerful work of Kara Walker and Glenn Ligon. Broad helped elevate voices others weren't listening to yet. He didn't just buy art, he backed artists, often purchasing directly from emerging talents and giving their careers a platform. With over 2,000 pieces from more than 200 artists, he built a legacy that lives on in the Broad, his free museum in downtown LA, and through the institutions he supported, like MoCA and LACMA. His vision helped shape the way we see contemporary art today. One name stood out, Andy Warhol. The world didn't know what to make of Warhol's soup cans, Marilyn Monroe prints, or silk-screened chaos. But Broad did. He saw genius in it, rebellion, mass culture turned fine art. While others laughed, Broad bought. Over the next 5 decades, Broad amassed one of the largest collections of post-war and contemporary art in the world. Warhol, Basquiat, Lichtenstein, Koons, Hirst, you name it, he had it. But this wasn't about ego or flexing wealth. For Broad, art was a public service. In 2015, he opened The Broad, a billion-dollar museum in downtown Los Angeles, free to the public, housing over 2,000 works. His mission? To democratize art, to make culture accessible, not exclusive. It was classic Eli Broad, ambitious, contrarian, and totally unreasonable. But it didn't stop there. Broad pushed education reform, funding charter schools and battling the teachers' unions. He fought for scientific research and urban revitalization. He backed biotech, architecture, and even tried to lure the NFL back to Los Angeles. To his critics, he was controlling, meddling, always in the room, always with an opinion. But to his admirers, he was necessary. The kind of billionaire who didn't just write checks, he made things happen. And always, always, he trusted his gut. Art critics laughed at Warhol. Broad bought him. Investors mocked contemporary art. Broad built a temple to it. Urban developers ignored downtown LA. Broad transformed it. Eli Broad didn't follow logic. He followed conviction. And here's the lesson. Being reasonable might keep you safe, but being unreasonable might change the world. Broad died in 2021 at 87, but he left behind not just buildings and businesses, but belief that if you see the future clearly enough, it doesn't matter if no one else sees it yet. So what do you see today that no one else does? I'm Jim, and this was History Decoded. Don't forget to subscribe, drop a comment, and stay unreasonable.